Hello, Mike here with MatterFix.io, and this is another one of our pro tips series of videos. In this one we're going to talk about using one of those super tall extension tripods. It's not something you typically are going to use, but there are occasions where if you need to, say, scan above ceiling tiles, or you need to get a building facade and get the camera higher, just any application where you need to do some scans with a camera at a higher elevation, these big tripods will definitely do the trick. Now, there are a number of different manufacturers of these tripods. The one that we have and the one I'm going to be using today is commonly called the Manfrotto Super High Stand. The manufacturer is Manfrotto, of course, and the model number is 269 HDBU. So first I'm going to do kind of a walkthrough of the equipment and talk about shipping it and that. Then we're going to go into setting it up, and then I'm actually going to put our Pro3 camera on it and do a couple of scans at different elevations, and just to kind of point out some of the pluses and minuses, what to expect when you're using one of these high tripods. Okay, so here is the tripod, and as I mentioned, we rent it, so one thing I can discuss is what you would ship it in if you have one and you need to send it somewhere or just carry it around. What I've found works well, I actually bought this and it came with this case. This is actually a snow ski case, a pretty tall one, and it has wheels on the bottom. It's real heavy duty, so it's worked out perfect for storing it and for actually shipping it via UPS. So here's the unit itself. And then the accessories that you can get with it, and if you're going to get it, I'd probably recommend getting it. There aren't a lot, but one of the accessories is wheels. I'll show you how they connect it, or how they attach there. These are pretty handy, especially if you're going to be setting the tripod up and moving it around. That's obviously going to make it a lot easier. And then I guess the only other accessory, and really this goes with the wheels, there's some straps for tying it together, for securing it, but there's three adapters that go with it. They go on the ends of the legs, and then the wheels screw into those. But I think the wheels and the adapters is kind of one upgrade you can get with the camera, and I would suggest getting that if you think you're going to be using it on any bigger jobs. Now, another thing I'm going to point out is this thing is pretty heavy. I'd say it's probably 40 pounds. It's definitely solid. It's mostly steel. Unclip these clips here, holding it in. Okay, let's go ahead and get it out. I'm going to loosen up the adjustments here to spread the legs out. Okay, so I've got it out of the case now, just like it was in there. You would loosen up this nut, and this allows this top piece to come down and extend the legs. So I'm going to get that going there. Drop that down. There's one on the bottom too. Both of them need to be loose, and you can basically raise and lower the whole thing here. So I'm going to tighten that one up and show you how the wheels work. I was wrong on those adapters. I think are for a different type of a tripod. With these, all you need is the wheels and a nut, and the nut slides in there, and then you basically the bolt that's on the top of the wheel there, you just spin that and it tightens in, and then tighten that out, and then your wheels are in place there. I'm not going to put the wheels on for today, but you see basically how it works. It's pretty easy, clever design there. Okay, so now I'm going to go ahead and set the tripod up. Now it has three legs, obviously a tripod, but it has one leg that you can use as an adjustment. So say if I am here, this is sloped a little bit, so it's tilted that way slightly. I can loosen this up and then basically level the tripod. I'd say that's good enough. That's eyeball level there. So You do want to make sure that all of these are tightened before you actually start elevating in that. I'm going to spread these legs out a little bit further. So I'm basically going up and down. You can see how that works there. Now they're spread apart probably about the maximum. Now it changed it so it's off a little bit. So I'm going to loosen this back up and go here and check this out. That looks pretty level for me. Now when you get it out, there's two places. There's a place here to mount something heavier duty and the thumb screw to tighten that in. I'm not sure what you would mount there, but with your Matterport camera, you're basically going to loosen that up and you're going to raise that, and then that's your 3/8 inch threaded stud where you'll mount the tripod adapter, whichever one you're using, Pro 2 or Pro 3. Now, the way that you're going to raise and lower it, obviously you would loosen up these nut if you wanted to move this section up like that, each of those. If you're going to only go up a little bit, it's better to raise it up using these heavier sections. The thicker the sections are, the less wobble you're going to get and the less problem you're going to have with the unstable error. If you go all the way up to 24 feet, you're going to be getting serious amount of unstable errors. Although your scans, probably you can save them anyway, and they're probably going to align okay, but that's just something to keep in mind, is you're likely to get the unstable error. You can tie little ropes here down to each leg, so raise it up and then you can tie 3 ropes down there and secure it, and you can most of the time eliminate any problem with that unstable error. Okay, so now let's go ahead and set it up to scan. I'm going to put the tripod adapter T-mount on here, secure that really good. Got a Pro 3 here we're going to use. Take the lens cap off. Power it up. Make sure it's seated squarely. Close that. There. And then I want to go ahead and open up the connect to the Wi-Fi. Okay, so the camera's on. I'm connected. We're going to go ahead and do one scan here. And I'll probably speed this up and go past this. Okay. Did the scan. It looks like we're not going to get the unstable error here, which we shouldn't at this level. Everything looks good there. So now we're going to go ahead and raise it up. And I'm not going to go super high here. So I'm not going to raise this thin extension. I'm going to start here. And there is a little stop. I know it sometimes is kind of scary when you're pulling it up because it seems like it's going a long way. There. Okay, so there's a stop. I like to go down a little bit from the stop and then tighten it up good. Now, this is pretty high, and I think we're liable to get an unstable error here. But let's see. If I was to use the thicker sections to go up, I think it'd be less likely to get the unstable error. Yeah, it's moving up there. Huh, okay, no unstable error, even though there was a little bit of movement. Now, another thing you can do is when you get up there and it starts to get a little bit wobbly, is you can change the scan density. You can go to options. I'm on standard density. I could go to medium or high. That's going to slow it down, and it's going to be less likely to cause wobble. But we did there see what the stitching looks like. Yeah, I don't see any stitching errors in it, and we didn't get an unstable, so that's okay there. We'll try going up a little bit more. Okay, there again. This scares me when you get the camera wobbling around like that up there. I'm going to go ahead all the way up and back off a little bit. Now, I gotta believe we're going to get an unstable error here. It's moving just from me raising it up. Okay, I'm going to reach up and hold the pole. You can sometimes, by steadying it by hand, you can prevent some of the wobble and not get the unstable error. In this case, though, if I was doing this, I probably would have 3 nylon ropes going down, tied off somewhere on the end of those to steady it, and you can pretty much eliminate that issue that way. Yeah, I can feel it moving in my hand. Huh, no unstable error. I'm surprised. Look at the stitching here. See, we're getting up now. You can see the roof. Now you see a little bit of stitching error there. Now that's probably going to resolve itself when the model gets processed. There's a line there, but I don't think that's stitching. So we'll try to go a little bit higher. This is a point where a lot of times it's good to have 2 people, because you almost want to have a second person. I don't know what that was. I don't like that sound. I'm not going to go all the way. I'm going to go part way on this one. So we're up a good, we might be 15, 17 feet up right now. You can see just from me moving it, the camera is moving. But like I said, if you had the nylon cords going down here tied off to the ends there, each time you raise it up you could secure it and pretty much eliminate that wobble issue. I'm holding it up here and pushing the scan button. Okay, once again, no unstable error, but I have a feeling we're probably going to see more stitching errors when we get up here. Well, that's about the same as the last one, but I think this model, I'll process it and add that at the end of this video to let you know how it came out. But we are not getting the unstable error here, even though the camera is moving a little bit. So that kind of is a rundown of how to use the tall tripods. Like I said, there's different models. This one is one of the higher ones, and I would recommend getting the wheels for it, and I would recommend having guy ropes to go down and tie off to steady the camera, and then also consider going to medium density or even possibly high density when you get it raised way up. All those things can eliminate the wobble and reduce the chances of getting the unstable error. So one additional comment is, even though I only have 1, 2, 3 sections up, there's actually 2 more sections that could go up. It looks tall as hell to me. I don't know that I'd want it up there any higher than that. But if you tie the guy wires on it and have an extra person there, it's probably perfectly doable. Okay, so I uploaded that small model we did yesterday, and like I said, we just shot 4 different elevations, so there's not a whole lot you can tell about it, but I'm going to put the link to it in the comments on YouTube, so you can go in there and look at it yourself if you want to. But I got a couple things I'll show you about it here. So this is it. I'm going to go ahead and reload. Of course, you can see the start. You can see where I trimmed. And then one of the things that I've found when you're doing multiple levels on a tripod and you leave the tripod in the same location, it's virtually impossible using the hotspots to click to the level that you want to go to. So a couple of tips on navigation is, and this was something I wasn't aware of, if I click at the upper half or upper third of the screen here, it actually will advance to the next scan. So now I'm at the second one, I click there, I'm at the third one, I click again, I'm at the fourth one. And the same thing on the way down. If I click on the lower part here, I'm down to number 3, number 2, and now number 1. So that's pretty handy. You can also do, like I've put matter tags up here with links to, so if you open it up and I put basically the shortcut URL to scan number 4, if you click on that, you're basically up at number 4. That's another way. And then another way is to use the, the highlight reel. So in the bottom left here, if I click on the highlight reel, it'll start to automatically pan, but you can stop it. And it'll tell you, let me go again. Okay, so it tells you right there, I skipped to the 4th. It tells me I'm on the first scan. If I click again, it tells me I'm on the 2nd scan, click again, the 3rd, click again, the 4th. So there's some different ways that you can navigate it. And then to look at this, the stitching, like I thought, the stitching came out fine. You know, and after we uploaded and processed it, even though the camera was moving a little bit, I would say that probably the 3D data is going to be somewhat off because of the movement. So there again, that goes back to securing that tripod with some tie-down straps at each scan location is going to reduce that wobble and improve the accuracy. And then also, if you need to go into the higher density scanning modes, that will also help it. So that's basically a rundown on it. Like I said, this will be in the comments on the in the YouTube channel, and you can check it out if you want to. Okay, the one quick thing I did forget to mention about setting up your navigation, you can use one of those overlay programs to create menus. And if you've got a bunch of different multi-level scans and you want people to be able to view the camera at different levels, setting up menus with one of the overlay programs like MP Embed is a good way to organize those and make it easy to access and easier for people to understand. So I just wanted to add that. I did forget that. So that's my take on using the taller tripods. I will have inserted before this last little segment kind of what I saw when I processed that model to let you know what was going on there. But they're definitely useful. Just consider they're heavy, shipping it, get the wheels, probably have 2 people on a job if you're going to be using it a lot. And then having those guy lines or little nylon cords that you can go down and secure it, and then possibly increasing your scan density to make the camera move slower to reduce any wobble there too. So that's got it. If you have any questions or anything, just message us on Facebook or go to our website and email us. I think we have our phone number there too. Thanks.